President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has again emphasized the need for Nigeria to remain one united country. According to Professor Osinbajo, those seeking division in the country must understand that Nigeria is great today because of its population, size and unity despite the odds. This is coming just days after a sit-at-home order was declared by agitators of a sovereign state of Biafra in the southeast of the country and was deemed a success. What does this mean, though, to the people of the east and the entire country? Is the rift deepening between the federal government and the eastern part of Nigeria? What must be done to strike a balance? Data feeds are coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channels12. We're live on Facebook right now. So just tweet at Gimba Omar CTV and use the hashtag State of the Nation to air your thoughts on the subject. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, says that she thinks that Nigeria is getting out of recession into a path of growth that will be sustainable. She said that the Buhari administration inherited lots of issues from the previous administration and that the economy needs to go through a radical surgical process and fixes. According to her, the solution to the high rate of unemployment is getting the economy productive for businesses to open up and employ people. The killing of 3 children and their mother in an uncompleted church building in Agbowa near Ikorodu in Lagos shocked residents of the area on Wednesday. The police say that they are yet to identify the motive behind the murder, adding that the command had swung into a manhunt to bring the hoodlums to book. Is the spate of crime increasing in the emerging megacity? Are the authorities there succeeding in fighting crime? It's prime time in Abuja, and this is State of the Nation. Welcome everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. I am Gimba Omar and this is State of the Nation. Right behind me we'll be having data feeds coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms. Be part of the show. You can tweet right now using the hashtag State of the Nation and hashtag Gimba Omar, that will be at Gimba Omar CTV, to air your thoughts on the subject. The agitation for a state of Biafra and the subsequent sit-at-home order by IPOB and MASOP was observed in most parts of the 6 eastern states of Nigeria on May the 29th. Even though there was the movement of persons and vehicles on the major roads, markets, shops and businesses remained under lock and key, while some banks were closed for business. Some offered skeletal services, though, to customers. Now, Monde Ubani is a legal practitioner and a civil rights activist. He joins me in the studio to take a look at some of these issues that have come up in the past 2 or 3 days we're looking at.
Thank you.
Is the best approach a sit-at-home order ordered by IPOB and MASOP, do you think?
No, what they did was to actually remind the people of what transpired on 30th of May, 1967.
With a sit-at-home order?
Yes, so there must be what you call a commemoration, a remembrance, just like the Jews also remembers the killing of the Holocaust of the Jews. There must be a day of remembrance. So what they did is, look, let's mark out a day where we can remember what happened to our people, our fathers, our brothers, our uncles. And we don't want to do it in a manner that shows we are fighting.
Why didn't you channel it through the House of Representatives, people who represent you at the National Assembly?
No, when you're talking about remembrance, is the people that, there must not be a law enacted in order to remind the people of what transpired.
But it was actually a sit-at-home. It was actually a sit-at-home.
There were people who...
Do you agree it was a sit-at-home?
Yeah, it was a sit-at-home order. And they felt that, look, if you go out in order probably to carry out any way of protest, we may be killed, we may be exposing ourselves to security agencies of the government. So what we do is to sit at home to remind the young ones who never witnessed this particular incident that there was something that happened where millions or thousands of people were killed. So I think it's the best approach in order to preserve the lives of the people that are alive.
You heard what the acting president said just yesterday. As a matter of fact, he pointed out that our strength lies in our unity as a people.
That's right.
Why is the call for a sovereign state of Biafra sounded so repeatedly? This could cause division. and not in line with the president's thoughts.
Yeah, I totally agree with a united Nigeria. I have even written an article where I said that Igbos are better off in one united sovereign state of Nigeria, because the Igbos are widely traveled, they're all over the place, they develop other regions and all that. But in dwelling together, in emphasizing our unity, what is key is that it must be a state in where there is equality, in which there is equity and justice. I believe in it, and I advocate for it. And I know that majority of Igbos are also clamoring for a united one country where there is equity and justice. It's this issue of injustice, perceived injustice or marginalization, that makes some people now to clamor for a sovereign state of Biafra. And what do is for you now to mitigate it by emphasizing that they are part and parcel of the system. You make them to be part of the entire system.
So you carry them along. Do they have a right to agitate?
Oh, right of agitation is enshrined in every law, both international and local. Right of freedom of expression, movement. You have a right to express yourself. You have a right to agitate, even self-rule. We did it. That's why we got independence, from the British. So the point of agitating for your, self or whatever you want is something that is enshrined even in the Constitution. But in saying it, issue of a separate state, it has to go through a normal process. And there is no law yet in Nigerian books that allow you to do a referendum whether you want to be your own state. There is none yet. So that can only be amended. But in the absence of that, people have a right to say, look, I am not happy in this union, just like you are not happy in any marriage union. You say, look, I am not happy in this union. So your partner has to look at you and say, what is he complaining all about? By looking at that, by addressing it, by even listening, you can even mitigate that agitation. But if you are not listening or paying attention, you aggravate it.